Seriously, if I just sat here screaming internally like this, I'm screaming on the inside, for 45 minutes, it would probably be easier to watch than what you watched in overtime and in the final closing minutes in the fourth quarter between the Houston Rockets and the San Antonio Spurs. Hey guys, Josh Reese here with the Josh Reese Show. We've got to talk about it. The Houston Rockets lost to the San Antonio Spurs in overtime. Complete garbage, trash. Before I get into all my anger and my vitriol, I should mention that this video is sponsored by my friends at Countryside Massage. Please give them a follow. It's linked below. They are big supporters of the Josh Reese Show, and I am big supporters of them. But anyways, let's get into it. The Houston Rockets 110-107 loss to the San Antonio Spurs. It was disgusting. It was garbage. It was awful. And they played beautiful for about 47 minutes. For about 47 minutes, the Rockets played amazing, beautiful, gutsy, gritty, grinded out basketball. But the San Antonio Spurs did what they normally do, and they found themselves a way to win a game in close proximity to another team. And you knew if the Rockets were not going to blow out the San Antonio Spurs in the third quarter, you just knew that they were going to find a way to weasel back into the game and end up pulling it out. And they did. Even more frustrating. Kawhi Leonard sat in the final minute of the fourth quarter. Kawhi Leonard sat during overtime. Not much more else you can say about what happened. If the Rockets win in Game 6 and they go to San Antonio and lose in Game 7, this game, the fifth game during this series, will haunt the Houston Rockets for the remainder of the offseason, and it will bug the hell out of them until they start the season next year. Awful. Awful. Completely awful. They did not find a way to pull this game out. Very frustrating. I just wanted to show you. So, in overtime, James Harden usage rate, you know, how much he controls, you know, everything goes on, all that stuff. 66%! Insane! Throughout the first 4 quarters of the game, he sat around 38%. In overtime, 66%! That's Russell Westbrook level. I mean, seriously. I can yell, I can rant, I can scream all I want into this video camera, and it's all for naught. James Harden trusted his teammates 3 times during overtime. Twice resulted in 2 threes. One was a missed 3, but a good look. I'm not going to say James Harden, selfish, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to rail on James Harden other than to say it's disappointing he did not trust his teammates more in the fourth quarter. It is disappointing James Harden couldn't find better offense in overtime. I meant overtime when I was talking about that a second ago. The final possession for the Houston Rockets in the fourth quarter. James Harden, one-on-one. Was it Manu Ginobili? It was either Manu Ginobili or Jonathan Simmons. I can't remember. Jonathan Simmons, it was. Gets the ball, one-on-one. He does this all the time in closeout games. It's not the first time. It certainly will not be the last time. Goes one-on-one. gets into him a little bit, pushes off. It was a push off. It was a push off. Weak foul, but a push off. Harden goes step back, misses the jumper anyways. They call him for an offensive foul. Spurs go down on the other end, and they miss a three-pointer. I think they were trying to set up a different shot, but they miss it anyways. So they go into overtime after that. But an awful, awful possession by James Harden to close out the game. More often than not, you really trust Harden and the way he is able to close out games for the Houston Rockets. More often than not, he's going to make the right decisions. But clearly he made a lot of wrong decisions in Game 5, and it ended up costing the Houston Rockets the game. Another thing that I think hurt the Houston Rockets was the size and the way they could not get rebounds. It didn't really hurt them, so to speak, but in overtime, the Spurs had like 6 chances to open the quarter. 6 chances. It was probably not 6. That's a little hyperbole, but it's somewhere around there. It was like 4 chances at a shot. Still did not make a shot. LaMarcus Aldridge did not make a shot. James Harden was not awful. He just had awful decision-making. I was going to say choices. But it was decision-making, which is what haunted the Houston Rockets in Game 5. So let's talk about some stats right now. One of the two things stick out to me from this game. One, you get a very poor game from Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, I believe, did he even have 20 points? What did he have? Kawhi Leonard finished with 22 points. He was 8 for 21 from the field, 38%. LaMarcus Aldridge, 7 for 21, 33%. He had 18. You got poor games from LaMarcus Aldridge and Kawhi Leonard. And as I mentioned before, Kawhi Leonard didn't even play late in the fourth and overtime. The Rockets still could not find a way to win. Spurs had more depth. They had more energy to finish out this game. And Manu Ginobili went into God mode to close out the game. He ended up with only 12 points, but I feel like every single one of those 12 points was a dagger right in the Rockets' ribcage. Yeah! Every single one. The Spurs played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players. The Houston Rockets played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This was a little bit of a storyline going into the game, was that Mike D'Antoni felt he was comfortable with the 7-man rotation if he needed to go that way. And clearly he was, because Sam Dekker nor Montrezl Harrell played in the game. But had they have played in the game, maybe some other guys would have had a little bit more energy later on in the closing minutes of the game. James Harden played 43 minutes. Trevor Ariza, 40 minutes. Eric Gordon, 43 minutes. Crazy town. Crazy town. I'm very frustrated by this game. Rockets, it was right within their grasp. They almost had it! Yet they could not finish it off. Another side plot to this game, because the Rockets, while I think everyone that is watching this video is equally as frustrated as I am and everyone else in Houston, the Rockets played really, really good basketball for a majority of the game. James Harden was getting whatever he wanted going towards the rim. He was setting up three-point shooters on the wing. He was getting a lot of good things to happen. Clint Capella even got a few lobs. Probably would have had another one. Lou Williams was trying to find him towards the end of the fourth. The misconnection on that one. But again, the lack of calls for James Harden is damn near criminal. He only finished with 8 free throws in Game 5. I believe in Game 4, it was under 5 free throws. It might have been 4. Maybe it was a little bit more, but it certainly wasn't 10. Harden normally gets to the line about 12, 13, 14 times a game. And in the playoffs, he usually gets to the line a little bit more. You cannot tell me that James Harden does not go into the lane and does not get fouled on damn near every single possession that he drives towards the rim. Just a weird game overall. That being said, I think the Rockets should take confidence in the way they were able to play against the Spurs. And hopefully it will power them in Game 6, which is on Thursday. Kawhi Leonard, after the game, mentioned to the San Antonio News, to the San Antonio media, that he will play in Game 6. We're still not sure about how effective he's going to be. He was limited by his ankle, and he was off for a majority of the game. This is the Rockets' time to shine. They played an excellent game in Game 5, just were not able to finish it out. Maybe Mike D'Antoni tweaks the rotation a little bit and adds a touch of Sam Decker, adds a touch of Montrezl Harrell, just to give Ryan Anderson, to give Clint Capella, to give Trevor Ariza, to give James Harden a little bit more of a break. You don't need to play Clint Capella or to play Montrezl Harrell or Sam Decker 30 minutes. You don't need to play him 10. 5 minutes is probably good enough to give them enough of a break. It was clear to anyone watching this game that the Rockets just ran out of gas. Spurs executed well down the stretch, but those Rockets ran out of gas. They ran on empty against San Antonio. They did enough to win. They just were not able to finish it off. I'm going to finish ranting and go do other things. I appreciate you guys for giving this a watch. Please leave in the comment section below what you think about Game 4. Are you as distraught as I am? Are you hopeful? Let me know what you think about thoughts on Game 5 as well. Guys, I'm going to bounce on out of here. Please feel free, blah, blah, blah. Please follow my friends at Countryside Massage in Conroe. They will do it right for you. And with that, I'm going to roll, and we will see you guys Game 6. Hell or high water.